So to the next event, the women's 4x100 meters. It's their turn now. Japan will be in lane 9, the same team and same order. They were 7th best in qualifying, this quartet: Aoyama, Kadama, Saito and Tsuruta. Switzerland go in lane 8. They've gone for the tights look. 4th fastest in qualifying, same team for them as well as in qualifying. Let's try polish those changeover skills is their philosophy. The French, the same team, 2nd fastest in qualifying. Richard Mingat on the final leg for the French, plenty of experience there. Italy will be in lane 6. 3 out of the 4 are the same. They were the 6th fastest in qualifying. Just a Fontana brought in, replacing Herrera Abreu on the final leg. Poland in lane 5, the host, 3 out of the 4, the same as yesterday. 3rd fastest in qualifying. Their hopes will be high. Their lead-off athlete, Stefanovic, is the addition to the squad. And the Dutch squad, Jamila Samuel, Daphne Skippers on the 2nd leg, Nadine Visser, Naomi Sedney. They were the fastest in qualifying, and they have to be starting here as favourites in lane 4. Denmark go in lane 3. There's not a practice pose at all. Non-automatic qualifiers, the Danes, but they're here in this final. 3 out of the 4 are the same, just their final leg runner changed. Bomber is in instead of Karstoft. And Ecuador go in lane 2. Qualified as a non-automatic qualifying squad. 5th best in qualifying, though, despite that, with a national record in their heat of 43.86. Can they improve on that today? That would be very special indeed. So we've seen the dangers associated with running in cool conditions for sprinters. A lot of athletes over the years have poo-pooed and maybe even made derogatory remarks about the sprinters and their delicacy, but you know, these are Formula One racing cars of the very highest order with enormous speed, and Jenny, in cool conditions, that is the worst possible thing for a sprinter, really.
It is, but as you said, Tim, you know, everyone's in the same conditions, and I think it's really good to see the likes of Daphne Skippers there, just making sure she keeps the tights on. You know, they practice in tights. I've run very fast in tights, so it makes no difference, really. Visser as well, she's the hurdle specialist. If people listening here weren't tuning in yesterday, you can see that they're just doing their marking their run-up. So basically what they do is they gauge the speed of the incoming runner. They put a mark down, and that's a visual cue, and they see their athlete come to the visual cue, and then that's the last time they'll actually look at that runner. They'll know how much kind of pace to judge themselves, how many strides it should take in theory to come into them, and yeah, non-visual changes in this one.
I suppose the vulnerability of that approach, Jenny, using that strip of tape on the track as the marker, and when the incoming runner reaches that, you shoot off, is that you assume the incoming runner will have maintained a really good speed, and if he or she has for some reason slowed or is tiring significantly, then you may have gone off too early, and it's not really anybody's fault, nothing you can do about it. So the system is not perfect. You know, these athletes are not machines.
No, they're not, and I guess it's similar to when you see, you know, the long jumpers and triple jumpers, and they have a, you know, run up, and, you know, depending on the runway or the wind, etc., it doesn't always go that way on the day. But yeah, this should be a great competition to watch. I'm really looking forward to watching the Netherlands squad. They've obviously got Samuel, Skippers and Visser, the same order as yesterday, but they've brought in Naomi Sedney. She anchored the Dutch squad to the European gold in Amsterdam back in 2016, so very experienced. I think they're looking to post a good time here this weekend.
Well, the Italian ladies will be all the more determined and aware of their vulnerability, because their men didn't have a great time of it. They went into their final a few minutes ago as favourites and came out in 4th place with 2 poor changeovers. Their second change and then their final change were very poor indeed. The Swiss out in lane 8 with Dietscher, Ricarda Dietscher handing over to Salome Cora, Cornelia Halbier and Cynthia Reinler. Well, we're hearing Brazil have been disqualified in that men's 4x100 meters relay. I'm very saddened to hear that. Yeah, you can see that foot there on that left foot of the outgoing runner, I think, and that is a huge disappointment, of course, for Brazil. Goodness me.
Such fine margins, aren't they?
Well, they are. There's that adjusted result from the men's sprint relay. Only 4 teams completing it. Brazil and Ghana disqualified. Oh, dear. Well, it just shows the vulnerability of athletes in these events. Is extreme at the best of times, but in these conditions, perhaps ramped up a little bit more. Japan go in 9, Switzerland 8, France 7, Italy in 6. The Poles, the host nation, go in lane 5. Third fastest in qualifying. The Netherlands go in 4 with that really strong squad. Watch skippers on the second leg down the back straight. The Danes go in 3. And then Ecuador, already with that national record, with the 5th fastest time in the heats yesterday. They go in lane 2 on the inside. Of course, the tighter bends of the inside lanes are significant. It's not really until you get out to lanes 3 or 4 that it becomes less of a factor. But lane 1 is being kept empty because there's no point in forcing a team into that lane with the really tight bends. But lane 2 is a significant disadvantage over, for example, lanes 5, 6 or 7. So the women's 4x100 meters, real drama in that men's race, unfortunately. Only 4 teams recording a finishing time. Let's hope this one goes more smoothly. The Netherlands, remember, in lane 4. Jamila Samuel on the first leg for them has run well. Hands over to skippers there. Center of picture. Watch the changeover for the Netherlands. It was a really good changeover. And skippers now in the blue tights and orange top blasting away. They lead the Netherlands from Ecuador and Japan. The halfway stage. And a good changeover from the Netherlands. Skippers to Visser, fabulous change, and surely they're storming away with this one in the orange of Holland. Look at this, she's gone off early, has Sedney. Oh, she's having to slow. That was a disastrous changeover for the Netherlands. My word, that went all so wrong, and it's now Italy, ironically, who are the beneficiaries. Poland are going to take second place. The Netherlands having to settle for third, and it was a disastrous final changeover for the Netherlands. There is no other word for it. Dear, oh dear. Visser running her leg well, must have had 5 meters on the other teams. Sedney went off too early, had to slow dramatically to get the baton, and when she did, I think she might have been outside the zone, we shall see. But irony upon irony, the Italians getting it right there as right as they possibly could, benefiting from the Dutch error and coming out as champions.
Well, this is what this event is all about, isn't it? It's so much drama at high speed, and the Italians are absolutely delighted with that one. 43.79 seconds. I'm sure the last leg runner, Fonte, couldn't believe it when she hit the front. You never know what's going to happen around you. The Polish, they finished second, 44.10. But that race was all about the Dutch, wasn't it? About, you know, we thought they were going to run a quick time, and if we actually look how much they were leading into that last change, it would have been one of the quickest times ever, probably. But these are real emotions, and you can see how much it means to all of these athletes. I'm sure if you would have told them that they would come away the victors 2 days ago, they would never have believed it, maybe even 10 minutes ago.
Well, we're being told that the Netherlands on our computers at the moment, while they sit in third place, their final change is being looked at. How frustrated must they be, because the lead-off leg from Jamila Samuel was fabulous. Her change to Skippers was brilliant. Skippers ran a great leg. Her change to Visser was perfect as well, and then it all came unstuck. And there has to be a team acceptance of the error. You can't put it down to an individual. Occasionally, very rarely, you see athletes having a few words with each other, but Skipper's there smiling. She knows this is the very first exchange in a big, big season. Now watch this, the Dutch there. Now, Naomi Sedney just went off too early. She changes. Oh, does she get that button? I think if the judges are kind, they will say, yes, she got it right on the line.
Well, here we go again. I couldn't quite see the changeover mark, but She definitely had the baton in her hand, but did Visser still have one hand on it as well? I don't know. But you can just see all the momentum just lost completely by Sydney there, as the Polish athletes could just overtake her and just really eat up that mistake, unfortunately.
Well, the Poles and the Netherlands and the Dutch been given the same time at the moment, 44.10. It's down to thousandths of a second, 5 one-thousandths of a second separating the Poles and the Dutch in second and third. The Italians, with that final leg runner, Vittoria Fontana, coming in on fresh legs. They were only 6th fastest in qualifying, but at the moment they are the winners, 43.79. And the Dutch quartet, well, they do make it onto the rostrum with that third place as things stand. Japan were 4th, Ecuador 5th, Switzerland 6th, and Denmark 7th. The French failing to finish, unfortunately, from lane 7.
Well, a few team tactics, a few analytics, probably, all of them talking about things, and got the Polish flag being draped around them. Maybe they're doing that for a little bit of warmth.
I've never thought of that, but I suspect they are grateful for it, Jenny. You're right. There it is. And that is, well, another one that coaches can use as what not to do, I suppose. Good running there from Fontana. So determined through that last 50.
And these are scenes I always like to see there. Hooper running all the way down from her leg, and all 4 of them gathered really quickly, didn't they, at the end? When your team are doing so well, even if you're over the other side of the track, you can make it back to that finish line to have the embraces.
Well, it looks like we do have an official result. France failed to finish. Switzerland disqualified. The Netherlands do indeed take 3rd place behind that fabulous victory from Italy, a season's best, 43.79. It's quicker than they ran yesterday, 44.02 yesterday. Poland, 44.10, with just a few thousandths quicker, 5 one-thousandths quicker than the Netherlands.